everybody, welcome back to Simply Sarissa. Today we're talking all about organizing our purses and our lives in general, I guess you could say. Most of us carry a purse or a tote bag on a daily basis, and if we don't do that, then we often carry one at least while we're traveling or have a road trip, something to do. And I realized that I have about 6 of them. Some are on the pricier side, some are very affordable purses, and I don't want to be wasteful, and I don't want to go purchasing new things all the time just because maybe one bag I have is not quite perfect. So what I came across was purse organizers, and I have to admit it's been a little bit overwhelming. There are tons and tons of them to choose from. So I did a deep dive into all of them, and I thought I discovered the perfect one, but you're gonna see this one even in itself is not perfect, at least in my book, but it definitely checks off most of the boxes for me, and probably enough that I'm going to keep it. Now, I'm going to insert some video right now just to show you the bag itself and give you an explanation of the structure and everything that it's about. So follow along and make sure that you see that. And then after the fact, after you see the explanation of this bag, if you're interested in how it works, how I pack it, and the different types of bags and purses that I use it for, then you can watch after that. If you're not interested in that part of it, you can go ahead and stop the video right after you see me in this. Okay, so let's get to the Pursette. The purse organizer that I have featured here is the medium-sized Pursette brand, and they're calling this the Jet Set Purse Insert Organizer. I got this again in the size medium, and it is a 12 by 5 by 8. And they say the top is about 15 to 16 inches long, so it does kind of come out, as you can see, a little bit, and that's built that way so that it can open up. When I made this purchase through Amazon, it was $23.99, and they only had the mink gray choice. Now, unfortunately, the only drawback to this particular bag is the color inside. So obviously, I hope that's clear to you. It is black on the inside, and the inside pockets are mesh, so you can probably see my fingers through that. That's not really my favorite for pockets, because if I'm throwing pens or other kind of pointed objects in there, oftentimes they get caught in the mesh, or they can actually rip holes into it. And this was something that I did not see and wasn't made aware of on the website itself through Amazon. But other than that, this bag is really well made. It's well structured. It's a really nice thick lined nylon material. It has 6 pockets on the outside that you can see. So there's 1 full pocket, 2, and 3. Then you flip it around, and it also has 3 pockets. They're all large and really well made and easy to use. And then it has these extra handles, which in a bit I can show you why those are kind of a good idea. And then again, on the inside, there are 3 pockets on each side, but they're all the mesh. And the fun extra piece that I really enjoyed that I didn't think I needed was, and it is removable, it's an actual lever. And what you do is you hook your keys onto it, and so you can just drop your keys right there, and you always know when you're getting into your bag that your keys are going to be kind of setting right here on the top of everything you've got, and they're attached, and it's easily pulled out, so you can push your buttons or unlock your door and then slide it right back in. Okay, now I'm going to pause it for a second, and then we're going to get into what we can store these things in. If this doesn't seem to bother you and you want to make this order, I'll show you what we can do with our purses. So this means that you are still with me, and I'm going to quickly go through how I stuff this thing, and then I'm going to show you the various bags that I've discovered that I can be able to use it for. So again, 6 pockets, 3 on each side on the outside and 3 on each side on the inside. And let's take this out just so I can show you everything. All right, so how I've been using this purse is I use the open middle part, and I throw my wallet in there first. Then I have my little clear bag that actually goes to one of my totes, but I like it so much I use it for all my everyday essentials. And then I usually have a planner or some sort of calendar, so I slide that into the middle as well. So you have those 3 things. As you can see, I still haven't even used any of the pockets. So what I do is I use one of the outside pockets usually for my phone. I slide that right in. I usually stick a couple of pins just like that so that I can actually see them when I have my tote bag open and I'm not digging around my purse looking for a pen. And there's so much room. If you use this for other reasons, you can do markers, whatever it is, makeup brushes, doesn't matter. Sunglasses or glasses, these are smooth enough that you can actually choose one and just slide your glasses right into it. Or what I've been doing recently is, depending on what's on the outside of it in my tote, I just slip it right there for easy access because I'm always throwing my glasses on and off and switching out between my regular glasses and my sunglasses. So that stays there. I also have some tissues usually or something like that that I stuff in there. And then the best part is the keys organizer. So again, this is removable, but I choose to leave it there. This has been really sturdy so far. And what you do is you just grab your keys, you just click it on and let go. And then now, whenever I need to get my keys, I always know whichever bag I'm using, I go just straight for the side of my pocket and my bag. And oftentimes when I drop them in so quickly, they sort of land on the top of this and kind of hang out there. So that alone is worth $23.99 to me, because on average I spend about 45 minutes a day looking for my keys, and I spend the other 3 hours looking for my glasses, sunglasses, and my phone. So now, problem solved. Totally worth it, priceless in my book. Now I'm going to show you which bags I've used them in and just give you a couple of ideas of what may or may not work for you. Again, this was the medium sized 12 by 5-ish size bag. The Pursette also had a large size as well, but for all the bags I'm using, you'll see this is perfect. Now the original bag that I bought it for was for this Longchamp tote. This is the same tote that they sell just about every year in the Nordstrom anniversary sale. But again, look at the inside of this thing. There's literally nothing. There's no pockets other than this little tiny weird slot, which in my book, that's about all it can hold. So even though I love it, and I love that the one I particularly got has a zipper and it actually gets bigger, so I use this so much on my day-to-day, maybe when I'm going to work and then also when I'm traveling, I just feel like everything gets lost in it. So I bought this and it just slides, and remember I showed you the tote, the handle part? It makes life so much easier. Literally just open my bag and throw it in. Now you may also notice too, these bags are really slouchy by nature. So this tote, this insert, this Pursette is structured enough that it keeps my bag upright. It's just a few inches off from the top, so it doesn't interfere with me zipping it or anything. And because it has that little metallic close, I can actually be lazy and keep this bag open if I want to. And if it falls over in the car, nothing falls out like it used to. So I'm loving it. Make a liar out of me. That's what I get for being lazy with my sunglasses. If they were in the slot, now it won't happen. There you go, better. Okay. So anyway, gotta keep me humble, right? So that's the Longchamp tote. I believe this is the, I want to say the large tote, but they may make one a little bigger. I'm gonna call this my vintage bag, even though it's not probably old enough to be vintage. This was an older Coach bucket bag that I've had for who knows how many years, but I refuse to get rid of it. It's got a tiny bit of organization. It's got a zipper bag inside, and it's got a couple little pockets maybe for your phone and your glasses. But other than that, again, it's a really slouchy bucket bag, and that's what it looks like 90% of the time when it's sitting next to me. And again, things get lost. So even though this bag is structured much differently, it's still about a 12 by 5 at the bottom, and that's really all you need. And so what this does, not only does it fit perfectly, but this turns this bucket bag into like almost a different style bag once it is structured in there. And it kind of has that more, there you go, you see what it looks like. So now I can actually see the logo on my purse. It holds up. I'm not trying to, move around and look for it. And again, things get knocked over, nothing falls out. All right. Now, oh, this is a good one. I'm going to talk to you quickly about these clear bags. If you remember in one of my last videos about traveling and having to go to events, for example, professional sports games or stadiums, golf tournaments, things like that, they have very special requirements for bags. So they have to be a 12 by 12 by 4 if you're going to carry a bag, and it has to be clear. This thing came in so handy for me this summer with some of those trips. But what I did notice was that sometimes I didn't quite have time to, you know, go all the way back to a hotel and switch out bags, and sometimes I just didn't even have the space to pack other bags. Well, it's a little bit embarrassing when you're carrying these bags through the mall or to dinner after those events. And so this sort of solves a lot of problems for me, because if I have this handy, and because it folds flat, it's easily packable for a trip. It just takes a little bit more finagling because it's full, but obviously it would go in a lot easier if it was empty, but I'm just being lazy. There you go. I slid it right in. You saw it really didn't cause a problem at all. The only reason why I'm trying to get a little picky with this one is because it's clear and I'd like it to look like it's almost part of the bag. So I just basically shove my hand into the corners to make sure the corners meet. And now my purse takes on a whole different look because it's got like the fun clear on the top, but it's all nice and private and covered on the bottom. And the black and gray works fine for me. And it actually looks like it was kind of made for it because you can see the mesh pocket there that it kind of matches. And if you recall, this purchase was also from Amazon. You could buy these clear bags with different colored features sometimes. So depending on which one you get, as long as it is the same size, the 12 across by the 4 or 5 this way, it's going to fit inside these. And this just solves a lot of problems, and now I can actually use this bag anytime I want. Okay, so that's that. And I guess in a pinch, you could just pull it out and use it as a bag or purse if you needed to. The other thing I wanted to mention about these is that don't limit yourself with thinking it only can be used as a day-to-day purse or only when you're traveling. These can get so creative, and you can use these for students, for teachers, for your art supplies, for your makeup supplies. You can use this as a toiletry bag, and especially if you're camping or glamping or you're at a bed and breakfast and you have to share a bathroom, you can throw all your toiletries in here and just carry it with you to the bathroom, and it hooks easily on a hook. You can carry all your paint supplies or craft supplies if you're having to go somewhere with those. I mean, even just to stay at home, you can have this just organize other things that you may need to have underneath the shelf. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. Have a great day. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.